7-2. Currently top of the 8th. Downtown at Progressive Field at the corner of Ontario and Carnegie. Or Carnegie and Ontario. If you transpose the intersection, is there only one way to say it?
There's only one way to say it.
Was he say Carnegie and Ontario? Yeah, Tom Hamilton.
Yeah, he's the man.
They will start up the series against the Astros here in town. First of four is tomorrow night at 7:10 here on WMMS. Your FM home for Cleveland Guardians baseball. Somebody sent me a piece of video here. You never worked at a Wendy's.
No.
You don't. I know you don't work there. You just shop there.
Yeah.
Wendy's in NASA. I love training videos. Training videos, retail, fast food, whatever. If you've ever worked retail or fast food, you had to watch these, right? When I was a manager for Blockbuster Video in the early 90s, I had to have our CSRs. You want to talk about lower status, Poundcake? Our customer service representatives would have to watch the training video. And I was a cool guy, right? I didn't make them watch the whole thing. I just wanted them to watch the high points. It wasn't a high-intensity job. But fast food, you're working with ovens. You're working with grills, hot surfaces. You're working with food. You don't want to make anybody sick.
I had to do it for, not Subway, but for Bob Evans.
Bob Evans,
They had a
down on
training
the
video,
farm.
yeah.
Now, is the training down on the farm or just the
No,
food?
training was the
In a building?
yeah, it was in the Bob Evans building, in the manager's office.
The Wendy's Grills Skills training video. I can't believe they didn't spell those with Z's. But this is when a guy comes in, and because it was the 80s, everything that was meant to appeal to the teenage workforce had to be in rap form, right? It was the age of MTV. So the Wendy's Grills Skills training video was hoping that the mnemonic device that would help you remember things was in rap form.
Now working the grill, Bill, it ain't so tough. But first of all, you got to check your stuff. Like a grill that's set at 250 with the meat and cheese that's ready to go. A towel to keep your station looking cool. But most of all, you got to have your tool.
And then he plays air guitar on a spatula.
Of course he does. You have to.
All the air guitar that's in rap music?
Spatula.
Yeah.
Are you with me now? Get ready. We're gonna lay them down. Now, beats got grain to it just like wood. You got to follow the arrow to lay it down like you should. From the front to the back.
Meat's got grain just like wood. You got to follow the arrow. So, because they've got these patties separated by like wax paper or whatever,
Yeah.
who knew that there was an arrow on them? I'm sure this is old news to anyone who's worked in fast food. I never worked in fast food. I worked in fine dining. That was my
Well, it depends
my
on
service
what fast
industry
food you work in, because if you're working at another restaurant, it's probably frozen beef.
right,
But at Wendy's,
Right.
it's fresh. Never
frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah, this guy's not trying to pry apart frozen beef patties like when you get them at Costco and take them home. This guy's peeling off hot, sweet pink meat.
Oh, let's see if we can get that into the copy for next month. Get some sweet pink meat from Wendy's.
I mean, that's when it first goes down to be cooked. Pre-cooked weight, pre-cooked color.
Pre-cooked color.
Yeah, hot. Hi, guys, this is Bill Squire for
When
Wendy's.
you put it on the grill, it's not hot yet.
Okay,
it's
get
just-
some sweet pink meat. Mm-hmm. Work that in, will you? I know
what I
you're
can
talking
do.
about salads.
We're talking about
I
salads,
know.
strawberries, lemonade
I
parties,
know.
things like that.
Can you order a salad with hamburger added? You know, like they have chicken salads?
I'm
You're
sure
talking
you
about
can.
chicken salads.
You can swap out the chicken breast that you get, so you can either get a grilled chicken breast or a spicy chicken breast or a home style chicken breast.
But that's all you're swapping out
But
chicken for
if-
chicken.
Yeah, but
If I
if you want to pay, it's probably a little bit extra, but you could probably throw a burger patty on there if you want. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I might try that. That might be good.
That's what I'm saying. If I pull up and I go, hey, really want the chicken salad, can you do me a favor? Can I swap out the chicken for hamburger?
Mm-hmm.
Could I get a ground beef salad? Is that too much to ask? And not just the patty on top. I'd like you to cut it up for me. I want cubes of
Meat.
Hot meat.
Formerly pink meat.
Formerly sweet pink meat. I want that on my salad. Thank you.
Back, you got to lay it down, space it evenly, not scattered around. Next, you got to salt the meat from the back to the front to make the taste complete.
You got to salt your meat from the back to the front. Poundcake, I hope you're taking copious notes.
Wiping is front to back. Salting, back to front.
Back to front. Ne'er the twain shall meet. Do not mix those up. Do not salt your taint from back to front next time you're...
As corny as this is,
It's helpful.
it will get stuck in your head rather than a guy just going, and when you do this, then you want
That's
to make
right.
sure. So I think this is highly effective.
The person who emailed it to me said, you won't get this song out of your head. And so I was trepidatious about it, but I watched it. So salt your meat from back to front.
It kind of makes me want to work at Wendy's a little bit.
You could be the person on the other side of the counter.
I want to salt that meat
That's what I'm saying.
from back to front.
Yeah.
Not too little, not too much. With a little finesse, you'll get the touch. What's coming up next is our key to success. We'll turn the meat.
Key to success. He holds up a key for the visual aid.
Yeah.
This guy's wearing sunglasses. So for anybody who's just hearing this and not seeing it like I am, do not for a second suspect that this guy isn't the epitome of cool, right? It's one thing, yeah, you could have some boring guy come in and tell you how to salt your sweet pink meat. This guy is going to give it to you in old school. This is from the 80s. Old school rap meter. Man, I want to pull up to a Wendy's and hear Bill Squire's voice coming out of the other side of the...
I don't want to be taking the order. I want to be on the grill. That's where the action is. That's where the sweet pink meat gets all the flavor.
Yeah, that's where the sweet pink meat becomes hot sweet pink meat.
Formerly.
Formerly. Then it becomes hot tan meat. Hot brown meat.
Not brown meat.
Do a 400 press. Don't wait too long, I emphasize, or the meat won't reach the...
That's what Poundcake's going to call his concubine situation. Hot brown meat.
Side. When things start to sizzle, you're ready to go. Gently turn the meat, but don't be slow. Just turn them over easily. We don't want a broken patty, that's a guarantee. Press out the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, I never knew there was so much that went into this. I really have to feign ignorance. I'm not saying that I think that these... my wife gives me a hard time because especially when we're on long road trips, if we pull through a drive-thru, she will order. She'll lean across from the passenger side and she'll order because she knows I get very frustrated at the drive-thru. She goes, you get so mean. And I go, I'm not being mean. My contention is, with all due respect to people who do these jobs, I know there are a lot of you. I've never done it, so I'll defer to your judgment. My point is, these might be very, very tedious jobs, but they are not hard jobs. So if I'm through the drive-thru and I get snippy with the guy because I've very specifically ordered something and they go, wait, what? I go, you're looking at a machine that has pictures of what I'm looking at this because you can see the screen now, what you've ordered. I'm like, I'm reading what I ordered. So you put something in. So what are you missing? That's why Gwen always leans over and orders.
Well,
because she knows, she goes, you're always, I go, because it's not hard. It's not hard.
but it is hard.
It's not.
You have to think of
Tedious,
it from their
not difficult.
But if they go through this again and again and again, and also you have to keep in mind, it's a much more difficult situation when you're on drugs, and you're probably if you're working at
Yeah,
one
but
of
I'm
these jobs,
also on drugs when I'm ordering,
Why
and
are
so
you driving?
that's why my bill is $109.
in that case, you should order on the app. The apps, I love the apps so much because one, you're getting rewards points, so then you're getting free food down the line.
Yep.
But it just makes everything so much easier.
Yep.
You can customize it if you need to. I'm not much of a customizer. I think Dave Thomas knows what he's doing. So when I go through Wendy's, app it up. And you just go through, you say, hey, I have an app order. And they go, what's the name on it? Bill. Pull around. It's already paid for. They just hand it out the window.
I know.
It's the way to go.
This goes back to...
And you can order while you're in line on the app.
This goes back to me trying to make a conscious effort to improve my attitude. Right? I don't want to have a bad attitude with people that are back there. It's hot. Like, I get it. But I can also tell when the other person's not really paying attention to me. And that frustrates me. Maybe they just need to go back and watch this cool training video from the 80s. Grills skills.
What was that? I wasn't paying attention to you.
Bill, see me after the show, will you?
Rock it a bit, are you keeping score? Top
Did you get my app code? Because I just ordered something from you.
bottom, left and right, and you'll get a patty that's
an
out
effort
of
of you.
sight. Press out the corners nice and wide, at least half an inch on both sides.
Lee, okay, so then they superimpose a ruler. Leave half an inch on both sides.
You gotta eyeball
This is
it.
where you're asking too much of anyone doing this job.
No, you're asking.
You're not whipping
This
out
is
a
why
ruler.
people should get paid a living
$16
wage
an hour?
for doing this because you're doing math.
I agree with that.
You should get a living wage. This is a lot because you're not cooking one burger at a time. When you're at a place like Wendy's, you're flipping burger after burger because that line never stops.
Never stops.
It never stops.
Keeps coming and coming and coming. And then it's Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. And what?
When I was in Las Vegas, I went to White House for like the first time in years. Or sorry, not White House. White Castle.
The White House.
White House.
White Castle.
You know how they recreated the Statue of Liberty out there in Vegas? They did the same in the White House.
Well, what they should do is they
It's
should
a Monica Lewinsky themed hotel.
start a franchise of different parts of the government to subsidize things like the Postal Service and stuff like that. So you have White House burgers.
Yep.
It's an episode of The Simpsons when Krusty goes bankrupt and the IRS takes over all the Krusty burgers and it's IRS burger. And Homer's ordering the food. He's like, Marge, what were your gambling debts last year? Mm-hmm. Or gambling losses last year?
IRS burger.
Oh, breaking
Simpsons
news.
roasting on an open fire.
I got breaking news.
Hold on. Go ahead, Poundcake.
No, I was in.
What?
I was just saying, I went to White Castle for the first time, and I forgot how good it was. But their patties are just—it's so small. And I was
Yeah,
like,
White Castle's not good.
I don't think it's
It is good. I just wanted to
don't think
In
it's
overindulge.
good.
Chicago, there's a White Castle every 10 feet, and they are not good.
I'll have 4 tax burgers, 1 IRS switch,
Boy, you can tell how old it is. Dan
Yeah.
Castellaneta hadn't, zeroed in on the voice yet.
with holder lettuce, 3 dependent-sized sodas, and a
I think this is
Frappuccino.
the. I think that's more about the recording there because.
Oh, really?
This is like season 8 or 9.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 3. I can't.
Will
I
be,
don't remember
you should
what season
receive your
this was.
burgers in 6 to 8 weeks. Let's see here. Schedule
Maybe 6.
9:53.
I don't know what season it is.
Hey, Marge, what were your gambling losses last year?
That's the Simpsons Christmas special. And it's season 1.
No.
8th episode of season 1.
Where
it was intended to be.
No. Where Krusty goes bankrupt.
I thought it was farther than that, but this says...
I don't think that's right.
Okay. 1989 was the original air date. December 17th, 1989. That's season 1. You've got breaking news?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Cox Show! Exclusive news update!
All right. The NFL has filed its appeal in the Deshaun Watson suspension per source. NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy said Roger Goodell will determine who will hear the appeal. So
Yeah, I saw that Roger Goodell was not pleased with what they handed. I thought everyone involved said we will abide by what the judge decides.
the NFLPA said they will.
That's the Players
Players
Association?
Association, and the NFL's like, we got some.
Yeah, but they don't really
things
have
to
any.
do.
The Players Association doesn't have any power to change. They have to abide
No,
by.
they could have appealed.
They could have.
And they could have asked for a lesser suspension. And now what's likely to happen is the NFL will appeal, and then it's going to go to a court because then the NFLPA is going to sue the NFL for the appeal. It's going to be messy. It ain't over yet.
I think it'll be longer than 6 games.
It probably will be.
You blow it!
Or whether it's longer or not, it's not going away yet. It's not settled yet.
Yeah, it's not over.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Nah.
Alan, what does Bill think of my Wendy's hack? I ask for a packet of their chili oil and put it on my burgers.
Ooh.
I
That
think.
sounds interesting.
But then have them put it on a salad so it's healthy. Just do that.
I'm not against that.
You know how I played it before? Jeremiah from Kiss comes in, has you give him a word, and then he works it in.
Yeah. The word.
Works the word in to one of his
To
raps.
one of his,
yeah, in the biz we call them raps. You've got to work in sweet pink meat in, in one of these live reads. One of your endorsement spots.
We can do that. Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
I'll do that.
I know you're
right
talking
now.
salads
We're
and
talking
lemonade.
salads right now.
It's summertime.
I mean,
Once we transition into fall, though.
yeah. Once I have something that I can, I'll work it in there.
Okay.
I mean, even with this, I can still zhuzh it up a little bit and get some sweet pink meat in there.
Zhuzh it up. Hey, do you like your zhuzh?
They want us to have personality in these.
Oh, I understand.
And then you give them personality, and they go, well, not like that.
Not the
Not
sweet
your
pink,
personality.
Not yours. Just, personality. We want Wesson. We said Wessonality is what we want.
The reason you press, you gotta think. When the meat hits the grill, it starts to shrink.
We start shrinking when we hit that grill.
So the backup singers are superimposed hamburger patties with earrings and eyelashes and mascara. And it's terrifying. But it is the 80s, so
You know
anything
it
goes.
will, we start shrinking.
A lot of production.
Yes, it is.
I appreciate that they.
Well, there are production houses that put these whole things together. They'd cast,
Yeah.
they'd produce,
Oh, yeah.
they'd,
We will.
it's a lost art.
When you see red juices on the top of the meat, it's time to give the turn and press a repeat.
And that's what I used to tell my girlfriends in college. When you see red juices on top of the meat, it's time to give it a flip. And they looked at me the way the kid in this video does, where he's rubbing his eyes because he can't believe what he's looking at.
Poundcake, you weren't around yet, but do you know what the Wendy slogan was in the 80s?
Oh, he literally wasn't around.
He wasn't
yet.
around yet, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I don't think you'll get it, but it was iconic.
No,
I don't even think I remember.
I don't even know.
You'll
how to
know it
guess
as soon
to
as I
that.
say it.
No, I don't know how to. I don't. I have no
Okay,
idea.
so their first slogan in 1969, which they've gone back to, is "Quality is our recipe."
Yeah.
And then
I
in
know.
19
It was, do you like your pink meat sweet?
0 point.
Is that what it was?
Zero.
Do you like your hot
let us
meat
pack
sweet?
your mouth with hot pink meat.
Yeah. What was it?
It was starting in 1984. Where's the beef?
Oh, where's the beef? Oh, yeah.
Where's the beef?
Clara Peller
Yeah.
was
And
the
now-
woman, the old lady in those commercials.
Arby's is like we've got the meats.
And
now.
we got the meats, but there were these commercials where, it's an old lady and she's looking at a competitor's hamburger and she's like, "Where's the beef? You can't see it, but when you get a Wendy's burger, you can see that meat."
Because it was square and you
Yeah.
could see it, the corners
Yeah.
poking out. Yeah, Clara
And it was a
Peller.
thicker patty.
Clara Peller was such an old woman that she was born in the Russian Empire.
She got rich from the Yukon.
Yukon Gold Rush. Yeah. No, I know I was in high school when she died, and she died in Chicago, and they buried her in a Jewish cemetery. And she would, towards the end of her life, they would roll her out, and she would make appearances, I think, like after the campaign had ended. Like
There was a huge campaign.
I had friends that went to WrestleMania at what used to be the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago out by O'Hare. If you've seen a show there now, it's called the Allstate Arena. But it's called the Rosemont Horizon for decades. And I had friends that went to WrestleMania. I wasn't a wrestling guy. All they could talk about was that Clara Peller showed up. That she was the guest timekeeper for like a hot pink meat pile-on, whatever they were doing at WrestleMania Dose in the mid-'80s.
Pink meat pile.
And she was like, where's the beef? And then the beef walked out. I think it was a wrestler at the time. And he walked out. But yeah, Clara Peller was 80-something.
Did you ever get to go to a Wendy's that had that little glass atrium?
Like it almost looks like a.
It's having lunch in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I have been.
I miss those.
Yeah, because there's a couple different restaurants that adapted that too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
we had Rack's roast beef, and they had the atrium.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
the
had
atrium's
a
down
Rax here. We had a Rax in Oberlin. That was like one of the only. It was fast food with style. I remember their slogan.
With style.
Yeah, I said fast food with style.
Because I think it was an Ohio-based. I think
think
they
it was.
started here. We had them in Illinois.
Yeah, that was one of the only fast food restaurants we had in Oberlin, and it was probably because it had style. But there was like right off.
Wendy's started in Ohio too, Columbus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right off of 57, like by the Midway Mall, what used to be Midway Mall. There's a Wendy's there that we used to go to as kids, and it had that little glass atrium there.
Yeah.
Alan IRS Burger first appears in Bart the Fink, which was the 15th episode of season 7.
There we go.
I mean,
Thank you.
But the clip I played sounded a lot older than that, and the information that was with, I'll take your word for it, because
Yeah.
I'm not a Simpsons. I love the show, but I'm not a nerd like that.
Yeah, that clip just sounded like it was
Sped up or something.
It sped up a little bit. Like it was probably just from whatever they ripped it from. They probably ripped it from a DVD,
Yeah.
and then that probably messed up the sound a bit.
Alan, the Wendy's slogan should be, "We don't cut corners."
Hey, I'll send it in. That's a good
Send
one.
it to them. Can you imagine if you sent them a suggested slogan and they adopted it?
They
be
wouldn't give
amazing.
you any money.
They go, "From the man who brought you hot, sweet pink meat, we don't cut corners." I got a break. I will have those Incubus tickets for you on the way back. I'm going to hook you up with VIP. I'm going to hook you up with pit tickets. You're going to meet the band, the whole bit.